Are back with two pivotal cases that we're awaiting decisions on from the Supreme Court. Both decisions could impact the future of abortion rights in the U.S. In the first case, the justices have to decide whether abortion pill access should be restricted across the country, especially by mail.
In the second case, they must decide if Idaho's near total abortion ban violates a federal emergency room law. This all comes 2 years after the court overturned Roe versus Wade.
NBC News Supreme Court reporter Lawrence Hurley is here to break it down for us. Lawrence, good morning. So let's start with the case trying to restrict access to the abortion pill. That's mifepristone, and particularly this is about it being sent by mail. We understand it's not trying to ban the pill completely, but it would invalidate the FDA's approval of the pill. Walk us through how this case started and what it could mean for women in states with abortion bans.
Yeah, I mean, if the court was to restrict access to mifepristone, it certainly would have a big impact, especially in the states that have banned abortion pretty much completely since Roe v. Wade was overturned, which is more than a dozen states. And in that situation, women who seeking abortions would have to have in-person meetings with healthcare providers. And in cases of, obviously in states where abortion is banned, that would mean having to go to another state to get that care. At the moment, with the access by mail, you don't even have to have an in-person meeting. And even in states where abortion is banned, women can get the pills. So it's going to make things a lot more complicated if the court was to rule that way.
Let's pivot to this second case. It's related to the near total abortion ban in Idaho. So the Biden administration is arguing this law violates the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, which guarantees that anyone visiting an ER has access to emergency medical services, regardless of if they can pay. Idaho argues it should not be required to provide abortions under that federal law. So what's at the crux of this case? Did the justices signal what they were thinking here?
Yeah, this one's a little complicated legally, but basically there's a small number of states, including Idaho, that have very narrow exceptions for the life of a pregnant woman if she's having healthcare complications. And the Biden administration is arguing that under this federal law, that these states are required to allow doctors to provide broader array of services, including complications that don't necessarily threaten the life of the mother, but just her health. And Idaho's saying they don't have to do that. Their law doesn't allow that. And so the court has to decide whether the federal law kind of trumps the state law. And if they were to rule in favor of Idaho, that would affect not just Idaho, but perhaps a handful of other states that have these similar kind of strict abortion bans.
So we heard oral arguments for both cases earlier this year. Do we have any idea of where the justices stand?
Yeah, I mean, I think based on the oral arguments in both cases, it seemed like the mifepristone case might actually kind of go away in terms of it may not be that the anti-abortion groups that filed that lawsuit don't have legal standing. So the court might kind of just throw that lawsuit out. So they wouldn't be ruling on the actual merits of the legal claim, which would leave the current status quo in place. The Idaho case was a little less clear. It seems like there's a possibility the court could rule for Idaho, which could lead to these handful of states being able to restrict abortion care, even in these kind of difficult situations for the health of the mother.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.